Ever get that feeling? Like someone's always watching you, controlling what you can even think. That's 1984, Big Brother, telescreens. Makes you wonder, right?
It's wild how a book that old, over 70 years, still feels like right on the money today.
Exactly. So today we're going deep on this one. 1984. How'd Orwell build this society, this Oceania, where they control everybody?
Yeah. It's all about this strict structure, this hierarchy. Like, picture a pyramid, right? The inner party. They're way up top.
The big dogs.
They call the shots, every single thing. Their ideas, their version of the world, that's what goes.
And under them, what's next?
Auto party. That's Winston, our main guy. Rules for everything, always being watched. Talk about stressful.
No kidding. Always looking over your shoulder, wondering if you're thinking the wrong thing.
Fear, that's the key. But it's more than that, right? It's how the party's built to last. They want to be immortal, basically.
Immortal. Isn't that a bit much?
Maybe, but think about it. Not families, not bloodlines, but their ideas passed down forever. That's what they want.
So, not who's in charge, but keeping that control, that going,
Yeah.
forever.
Exactly. They control the present, they control how people think, so they control the future. That's where Crime Stop comes in.
Crime Stop, kind of like it sounds. Stopping a thought crime before it happens.
Exactly. You police your own mind, the party drills it in, any thought, anything even close to questioning them, shut it down.
That's messed up. Not even allowed to think freely.
That's how they get you. Not just what you do, but what you think, what you want. They control everything that makes you human.
Control thought, and you control what people believe is true.
Exactly. Which is how they get away with rewriting history.
Ah, the Ministry of Truth. Where Winston works, right?
Yep. And it's all one big show, right? They're not protecting history, they're twisting it. Changing documents, making events fit whatever story the party's pushing now.
Pretty ironic. Ministry of Truth, more like Ministry of Lies.
Works like a charm, though. You control the past.
Yeah.
You control how people see the present, the whole world.
So, someone like Winston, stuck in this web of lies, how's he supposed to find any truth?
Now, that's where it gets good. Remember that photo he finds? The one with Jones, Aronson, and Rutherford?
The traitors. Yeah, but didn't Winston remember it differently?
He did. He remembered them as loyal party guys. That picture. Proof that the party made the whole treason thing up.
That's a lot to process, especially when doubting the party can get you killed.
And that's why it's such a big deal.
Yeah.
It blows apart the party's whole truth thing. Winston has to question everything.
Makes you think about today, fake news, photoshopped everything. What do we just blindly believe?
Right. We're drowning in information. Makes you wonder, if we were in Oceania, would we even question it? And that's Orwell, right? Makes it real, makes you think. Could we be Winston?
Totally. It's like he's holding up a mirror showing us what we could become. But for Winston, knowing the truth, that's just the start of it, right?
Oh, yeah. First, that spark, that awareness. Then he starts writing in that diary. Seems small, but in Oceania, huge risk.
Telescreens everywhere, thought police listening, writing your own thoughts. That's practically a revolution.
He's taking back his mind, bit by bit. That diary, that's his space, no party allowed.
Holding on to what makes you human in a world that wants to crush that out of you.
Exactly, and that need for something real, that's what leads him to Julia.
Their thing, it was always bigger than just love, wasn't it?
Way bigger. The party wants to own everything, even love, even desire. It's dangerous to them because they can't control it.
So every time they're together, it's like a little rebellion.
Right on, every stolen moment, every word, every touch, rebellion. And then there's that scene where Winston tries to talk to that old prole guy about life before Big Brother.
The pub scene, it's like he's digging for some lost memory, trying to put the pieces together.
And the old guy, he could barely remember, shows how well the party's done their job, warping history. Even those who lived through it can't remember it right.
They erased the past, or at least twisted it into something unrecognizable.
And that makes Winston's fight, just to hold on to what H.E. remembers, who H.E. is, even more terrifying. Makes you wonder, in our world, with everything changing so fast, what's real anymore?
It's true. So much info all the time. How do you know what to trust?
And that's where 1984 goes from just a book to something more, something real. But for Winston, searching for the truth, for connection, it leads him right into danger.
Right into the hands of the thought police. You knew it was coming, but still.
Brutal. And the way they get him, in that little shop, Mr. Charrington's place, it's supposed to be safe, but no.
That part always gets me. Old guy. Seems so nice. Then bam, thought police. Makes you see everyone as a suspect.
Proves there's nowhere to hide in Oceania, No one to trust. Big Brother's always there.
And then comes O'Brien. This mysterious guy seems smart, even sympathetic at first. Winston thinks he's found someone on his side.
Talk about betrayal. O'Brien, he's the worst of the party. He actually believes it, all the lies, the cruelty. He thinks he's doing the right thing.
He becomes Winston's worst nightmare, in the flesh, tortures him, breaks him down.
And the worst part, it's not just physical. It's that O'Brien makes him doubt his own mind. Double think.
The torture scenes are awful, but that mental manipulation, that's what gets under your skin.
Because that's the real horror in 1984, right? Not just obedience, but crushing the human spirit. O'Brien even says it. We shall squeeze you empty, and then we shall fill you with ourselves.
Gives me chills to have your whole identity just erased.
And Room 101, that's where it all goes down. Pure nightmare fuel.
They find your deepest fear and use it against you. Break you completely.
And for Winston, that fear, it makes him betray the one good thing he had left, Julia.
Awful, just awful, begging them to torture her instead of him. That's how powerful their control is.
They turn your own fear into a weapon, make you destroy the things you love most.
And in the end, the party wins. Winston's broken, just another cog in the machine.
That's the really terrifying part. He believes their lies, even 2 + 2 = 5, loves Big Brother, total defeat.
Bleak, man, totally bleak. But that's not the whole point of the book, is it?
Nah, there's more to it than despair. It's a warning, remember?
So if it's a warning, what are we supposed to take from it? It's like today we're practically swimming in information, just like in the book. How do we even know what's real anymore?
Big question, right. And that's why people are still talking about this book, 1984. Makes you think about truth, about power, how easy it is to mess with people's heads.
Winston's world, the telescreens, the thought police, it's like scary movie stuff. But then you look around, and some things feel kind of familiar.
Oh, yeah. Surveillance is everywhere now, right? Our data is being collected constantly. And those algorithms, they decide what we see online. It's like a bubble. You only hear what they want you to hear.
Yeah, like we're being nudged little by little to accept their version of things, even if it's not the whole truth.
Exactly. And that's why thinking for yourself is more important than ever. Question everything, look for different viewpoints, don't just swallow what they're feeding you.
You mentioned Newspeak before. That always blew my mind. They literally changed the language to control how people think.
Wild, right? Newspeak, it shrinks the world, shrinks what you can even think. We don't have that exactly, but
yeah.
You see it, right? Certain words are off limits, certain ideas you can't talk about.
Yeah, like you gotta watch what you say, or else people come after you.
That's what Orwell was getting at. It's not always a telescreen, right? It's that feeling that you better shut up, or else. And that's just as effective for controlling what people say, what they even think.
So what do we do then? How do we push back against that, this control creeping in everywhere?
First thing, gotta see it. Recognize how they're doing it, whether it's those algorithms, propaganda, silencing people who disagree.
Knowledge is power, right? Like, the more you understand how it works, the better you can fight back.
Right on. And don't think you can't make a difference. Support good journalism, talk to people you disagree with respectfully, and never be afraid to ask questions, to rock the boat a little.
And maybe find some hope in unexpected places. Didn't Orwell say the proles, the regular people, they were the real hope for rebellion? They weren't totally brainwashed yet.
Interesting, right? Maybe the message is real change. It comes from the ground up. People who are like, enough is enough. I'm not playing along anymore.
Something to think about. So we've covered a lot of ground here on 1984. The big takeaway, I think, is pay attention, get involved, and keep questioning everything. Because the future, just like in the book, it's not decided yet. We're all writing it together. And that's a good place to leave it for today, folks. Thanks for joining our deep dive.